So there's the bike. You might be troubled by some of the noise coming from the work area, but here's the bike. I just cleaned it. For me, a beautiful bike. So I'm still very happy with it aesthetically, but a few of the things that have revealed themselves as time's gone by, it's only a 150, so it's not an extremely powerful bike. It's not particularly a greatly fast bike, but when I first got it, of course, it was very fast for me. Now that I've grown into it, I'm able to judge the power and the speed a little bit better, but no question about it being a beautiful bike. Every time I look at it, I'm always very, very pleased. Now, so what can I say that I'm not happy about, because really the bike is an absolute knockout from every angle. For my money, I wanted it dressed so it's fully fared. So I really like the look of it. As I say, I've just washed it, which is very quick to do now, that because I'm used to the Raptor. So there's a lot to this bike. What has failed in a way is not because of the bike, it's because of Beth's preference. But she doesn't like to ride this bike, because if you look at the difference between the pegs for the passenger and for the rider, and you'll see that actually the feeling, if you look there, you can see how much higher the seat for the passenger is, and Beth feels just too exposed, so she doesn't enjoy riding this bike. So it's become a solo thing, and I've only carried 2 other passengers on this one, a very, very short one for DC, because she was walking up the road when I was coming home, and the other one for Angie, taking Angie home after she'd been here. Angie's one of our students. Angie was perfect passenger, because even though she's actually quite tall for a Filipina, she was feather light and knew exactly how to ride a bike like this. So I could hardly feel that she was on the bike. Made no difference. Whereas Beth will lean forward and put her arms and elbows on my back, which puts all of the weight for both of us on my wrists. So you can see that it's a forward leaning stance for the bike, or riding position for the rider. So it's very much leaning forward in a sort of a racing, I'm talking layman's terms, for a rider. It's leaning forward. They're not quite down as low as clip-ons, but it's a forward aggressive look. So it's not a bike for me, it's not a bike to go on long distances for. It's a bike to enjoy, and I ride it quite short distances, but I ride it as often as I can. Now, what's the downside? The downside for me has been the pillion position, because now Beth doesn't really ever want to go on the back with me. But that's fine, because it makes a solo tool for me, and I actually enjoy my alone time, and this is a special way to do it. So what would I like to see changed? In the Raptor, there's a very, very good display, which no matter how much light there is, you can still see the control. Now on this, there's no lighting that I can see. I don't drive at night, should tell you that. I don't drive at night. On the motorcycle, it just seems a crazy thing to do to me, because even in the daylight today, I nearly copped it with a dog. dog suddenly ran out and actually looked like it was going under the front wheel, but I was very lucky, thank God. Absolutely perfect braking system. It's ABS brakes, so it's really very good, but I just find this readout is not easy. It's not easy for me, maybe that's my age, but with a full face helmet, the actual outlook is not so good anyway, so I would rather see that changed. So the lighting is the main thing. Now the bike, as I said, it has ABS brakes. It's quite advanced for me. Once again, I'm used to driving a cheap bike or a dinosaur, so it's advanced for me, no doubt, and a beautiful bike. Very, very happy with it. If I have to find something wrong with it, it would be what I'm saying. So the readout on the Raptor is really excellent. You can see exactly what, because they've made all of the markers. So in other words, the finger for showing where you are in speed and revs per minute, RPM, you cannot miss it. So you get to know where it's reading. Here, no, it's nothing. You really can't see anything. So let me start the engine. You can see clearly that it's a nice readout, but could do with being as per the Raptor. Let me show you. So it's a nice easy start, and there you've got, it shows you the rev, shows you the RPM on there. Now as soon as you get to maximum torque, well, you should be changing gear, as if you should be told that. Usually a light comes on for, I don't want to do that while we're just standing still, but it usually comes on and tells you when you should be changing, so a little light comes on. But as it's so far down and in a full face helmet, you really have to tilt your head down to see what's going on there. Then I think that they could improve that. It also has traction control. For the life of me, I can't see how that would work on a bike, but it reassures me a little. What was the other thing that I was going to say? It also has ABS. It has ABS, not ABS, GPS. So if you're bothered by, if you need to know where you're going, there's GPS. I've never used it, don't know how it works even, and I'm not really even curious. As I say, I'm only in this for short trips, 20-30 kilometers, maybe round trip, is fine for me with this particular setup on the handlebars and the riding position. But the problem is, Taco! The dog has seen that I'm making a video, so it's important that he starts barking. So the ABS is continuously on, even when the bike is off. So what I found a few days ago was that the bike wouldn't start. Battery was totally flat, nothing. So this is where the drag comes in. So let me show you. Looking down, the battery is below the seat, and in order to get to that, you have to come here. There's a key, and oh, there's some kids. That's why it's barking. Turkle. So you take this off, and then it allows you to take this off, and then there's a bit more, and it's not an easy thing. It's not a simple thing to be able to charge the battery. Now on other bikes, what I see, they put the key in and then the whole thing lifts up. It didn't happen with this. So that's a downside for me. If it is going to flatten, if I don't get out there for 2 days, It means I'm chained to starting the bike at least every other day, and that's a downer for me. But apart from that, I'm very happy. I did notice today, an impression today was that I can see how people who are used to it, my friend Val in California, would certainly not be enough for him to have a 150. And this it certainly looks the deal, but it is lacking in power when it really comes down to it, when you're overtaking something that's already going quite fast, which is how it is here in the province. So I can see there's another bike that looks pretty much like this, but it's a 350, and I can already see how, had I been riding prior to getting the bike, I probably would have gone for the 350. But this, it does quite well. Supposedly it will do 40 to 45 to the litre. I find that for as much as I'm using it, which I don't know and haven't bothered to record in kilometers, but I put 300 pesos, maybe 400 a week into the bike, which compared to what I would be putting into the Raptor is pleasure. So now that Turco has taken over the narrative here, I'll dial out. That was a quick update. Hope you enjoyed it.